Hello everyone, Dave from Emilia Arachnids. Yes, I'm back. I don't know how many times I'll be back. We're hoping to get a few more videos kicked out before the end of the year. That's all going to hinge on how I do with work, and I've been so tired, and we've been doing a lot of remodels here. We did the kitchen, we did the bathroom, we painted the ceilings. We have to do the living room yet, so we've done a lot of extracurricular stuff here at the house. And the collection's grown quite a bit since the last time that I've done anything. But I wanted to do a Brachypelma species collection tour. These are all the Brachypelmas that I have. There'll be one that you probably won't see. It's not doing so well. It's been I've been fighting with it for about 6 months trying to keep it alive. It won't eat. It'll drink water and then it'll pump back up, and then I try to feed it and it won't eat, and then it starts to curl back in again. But this we're going to kick off here with. This is a Brachypelma klassi sling. Still small, but I've had this one since it was a 1/4 inch. One of my favorite species. I think the prettiest Brachypelma species. Not my favorite, but the prettiest of the Brachypelma species because of that dark coloration. You'll see as we get the other two out. Well, at least the larger one, the male. You'll see on the male the coloration's a little bit more vivid. Great species to own. I highly recommend them. So we're going to try and get through this as quick as we can. We have a lot of Brachypelmas to get through. I know there's only a handful left in the genus, but I have a lot of them. So I think I have 5 boehmeis that we got to show. So let's move to the next one. The next two are the Brachypelma smithies. Okay, so here is the smaller of the 3. Oop, a little shy. There it is right there. You can see. Not ready to molt yet, but you can see where what hair it did have, it's already got rid of. So I would expect this one to molt in the next month or two. You can start seeing where the coloration is going to come in. And then the next one here is the biggest of the 3. You can see the abdomen's completely black for the hair, and you can see the coloration on that one. I'm going to try and hold a little bit more still here. So this one here was supposed to be a sling from an import from Mexico, but I did not get any paperwork or any number for it, so I'm not 100% on that. The other one was just bred as a Brachypelma smithi. Now the third one, unfortunately, we're not going to show because I've been trying to keep it alive for the last handful of months, and I'm not doing a very good job of it. It'll be okay for a little while, and then it just like curls back up. I can't keep water in it enough, and it won't eat, so we're going to let that one go. But I'm going to move on to the next one. I'm just going to grab them as I go. I don't know which one I'm grabbing next, but let's get moving. Okay, so this is the more coloration of what you'll see out of a Brachypelma klassi. This is a juvenile male. This is another one I've had for quite a while. I think I got this one as about 3/4 inch size, so a little bit smaller than the first one that you saw, in that size range anyway. I have this one in a glass enclosure. It's actually a type of betta enclosure, so it's supposed to be a betta tank, but I don't know why anybody would use these for bettas or betas, whatever you want to call them. It's got a slide off mesh lid, and yeah, I know, mesh. I can't change this, I don't believe. I might be able to glue some plastic inside there and then drill holes, but it's a little bit more difficult than with Exoterras. Anyway, this guy's a great eater. We might even actually be able to feed this one. Let's see, get it a mealworm. It did just eat the other day, but it only ate a small worm, so I'm sure it'll take it. This guy's pretty voracious eater. He's very colorful, dancing around when he's fighting the worm as he does. I think, again, I believe these are the prettiest, just because they kind of seem like a burnt red, to me, or burnt brown, red brown. A lot of fun to own, and I have 3 total. I have a female that I'll show here soon. I just have to figure out how I'm going to play Tarantula Tetris here, where they're all located, and the easiest way to get them down. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, this one's a little bit harder to see, but this is my female Brachypelma Emilia. You can see what she's done to her water dish as well. I just got this in last week from Tom Saxenmeyer. A little deal for some some Dolichothele diamentinensis slings from a recent pairing that my male went out for. I got 55 slings back, so I sent him some slings for this gal. She's a juvenile, but she is female. Pretty excited about that. She's been down inside there since I got her. I think she's approaching pre-molt, but she's not quite there yet. She doesn't have the dark black, the black shiny abdomen, but she is starting to darken up a little bit. So I don't want to bug her too much. There she is there. You can see her bald spot that she kicked hairs off of, probably in transport. But really, really excited to finally get a female Brachypelma emilia. That was something I've been searching for 6 years. And I went from not having any to now having 2 in a matter of a week's time. This is the other Brachypelma emilia female. She's not quite full grown, but her spermathecae did look pretty sclerotized. She just molted last night, this morning. I came home from work and she was back upside, right side up with the molt next to her. You could see she had a little bit of difficulties molting there. She had a leg issue. She has had some water, and this is a tarantula that I'm tarantula sitting for someone here that just opened up a new store, and got so much stuff going on that I think he just wanted to have the spiders out of there for a little while. So I'm gonna take care of them for a little bit, and hopefully there's 4 of them, I think, actually, that I'd like to keep. So we'll have to work something out with all that. She's definitely one of them, because I do have a male, so it'd be nice to be able to breed these emilias, both females, depending. He's a little bit bigger than both of them, just a tad bit bigger than her, so he may mature before I can actually pair them. But yeah, so here is the second Brachypelma emilia female that is in the collection here. Okay, so the next one is another Brachypelma klassi. This is my young juvenile female. Nowhere near the size of my male, so that kind of sucks, but I'm sure we'll find him a home when he matures. Anyway, I picked this little gal up in a trade. I was so excited to get her. I got her and a Pteronachilus cordatus female for my Formingochilus species rufus female and my Theraphosa blondi female. There are 2 species I didn't really want to work with, and of course I've been searching for a klassi female and a definitely Pteronachilus cordatus female, so it worked out for me. But yeah, this is the little, she's very shy. She's still a pretty good eater, and we might be able to actually get her to feed too. We'll see here. Oop. Yeah. I don't know if that worm will attract her or not. But, I enjoy feeding Brachypelmas. They are very, believe it or not, they're very food driven. They are good hitters, and they eat generally most of the time. Of course, they can fast for a while, as most people know that own them. But if you don't feed them all the time, then they won't fast. If you space out their feedings, they won't fast like people see them do. And I think that's the biggest mistake that people make with Brachypelmas and Ledocottyls, a few other New World species, is that they just love to see them feed, which she's not interested, which a lot of people do, and it's part of the hobby that, part of what most people got into the hobby for. But overfeeding or feeding too frequently will put your spider into a fasting situation. I know there's a lot of controversy over being, can you overfeed a tarantula? Can you overfeed a sling? Some people say yes, some people say no. It's on who you want to believe, and I tend to lean more on the side of science, and I tend to lean more to the sides of people that are out in the fields showing spiders that live out in situ, out in the wild, that aren't big and fat and obese like what you see in our collections. Well, not in my collection, but in a lot of collections over the internet, on YouTube, everywhere else. I think that, people want to get them bigger faster, and they love watching them eat, and I get it, but I just don't recommend feeding them as frequently as a lot of people do. Anyway, this is I rambled on a bunch of stuff I probably didn't need to. This is the Brachypelma klassi female, so you saw all 3 of those. I'm going to grab my Brachypelma baumgarteni next. So here is the little Brachypelma baumgarteni. This is the one that Andrew Smith from Love Tarantulas on YouTube described. It's a very, very dear to his heart spider, and I can only imagine, you know, the feeling of being able to do that, being able to get out there in nature and find a spider and describe it. But this one is a very good eater for the most part. It'll skip a meal every now and then, but let's see if we can get it to eat. Well, yeah. If I learn how to drop a mealworm a little bit closer to the actual spider. This one is a very anti-water spider. It flips the dish almost immediately. It just absolutely hates water. Apparently we're not going to eat just because we're on camera. This is a spider that when it actually does hit, it hits like gangbusters. And you can see Baumgarteni's got more of a darker carapace than what boehmei do. Boehmei's got more of a reddish carapace. Now, I don't always use that to go by because it's not foolproof as far as coloration. When you try to identify Brachypelmas, carapace can change drastically through its life. Same thing with smithis, hamorii, especially emilias, and boehmeis and baumgartenis. They can change a little bit different. I have another baumgarteni, quote unquote. It was given to me the same time as this one as a baumgarteni, but I do not believe it to be. I believe it to be a Brachypelma boehmei. So I'm going to get down. Yeah, I think we're going to get into the Brachypelma hamorii now. I got to find the little guy. I think he's down the bottom. We'll pull him out next, or her. I'm not quite sure what that one is. Okay, so let's see if we can get this log. Oh, there we go. Brachypelma hamorii. I got this tarantula 5 years ago from netbugs.com. Anastasia. I got this, the emilia that you'll see in a little bit. And I can't remember what else I got. I want to say Gramstol pulchripes, the Gramstol pulchripes female that I have. I'm pretty sure those all three. Anyway, this one came in and it did not move. It was not moving at all. And, you know, I was a little worried. It was one of the first ones I got during the winter time. I think it was in the month of February. Anyway, I got a hold of her and she's like, I'll put it in an enclosure and let it warm up and see what happens. So I did what she told me, and within 24 hours, the little guy was running all over the place. And it's been one of my favorite spiders since then. Still not very big, a little over 2, maybe 2.5 inches. Don't know the sex yet. But wonderful spider. Definitely will probably be able to get this one to take a mealworm. So we'll give it a shot. I wasn't really intending on feeding any of these ones, but oh, of course he took off, ran away. Let's see if we get back out there. Oh, no, not that way, this way. Here, look. Look what I'm going to give you here. I'm going to move you guys over. We'll see what it does once it moves. This is one of the spiders that generally does not miss anything that I put in there. It'll eat just about any time that I do. But now that I've been messing with it, it probably won't eat. This is one of 3 hamorii that I have. I have a male that is molt confirmed male and a molt confirmed female. And again, we have a couple spiders that don't want to eat on camera. So let's get down to the next one. So next up is Obi. He is one of the channel favorites. This is the first Brachypelma species. This is the first Brachypelma spider that I ever got. Again, it was around 3/4 of an inch, maybe an inch. I got it from Cody Wilson 6 years ago. And this one's been with me the longest as far as Brachypelma is concerned. Just a joy. This one's a male. He has become a little bit of a flicker lately, and you can see he's not, his abdomen is probably about where you'd want to see a Brachypelma abdomen. It doesn't need to be bigger than that. Male, female, it doesn't matter. This is a perfect size. He's not eaten the last 2 times that I've tried to feed him, but he is not anywhere near pre-molt. He just molted a couple months back, actually. You can see his colors are still very vibrant. Definitely a hamorii. You can see with all the extra setae and the white setae and the way that the coloration is on the patella. The cheliceraal bands are there, pretty prominent. So yeah, this is the male Brachypelma hamorii. We're going to get down the female next. I think that's all the ones that are over there. The rest of them are going to be over here, and they're going to be the boehmeis and the boehmei baumgarteni. I still believe it's a baumgarteni, but yeah, actually there's two up there. We'll have a big female boehmei, and then we'll have a big female hamorii up next. Next up is actually the Brachypelma emilia that I was talking about with the first one that I got, that little Brachypelma hamorii. This one came with it, so they were about the same size. Actually, I think this one was just a little bit bigger. I think this one came in at 1 inch. This is the male Brachypelma emilia, so this is the second longest one I've had in my collection, or has been with me for the second longest. I love the enclosure setup that I did for this one. It's got two areas that it can go, and it utilizes both of them pretty often. You never know which one's going to be in, the coconut hide or the actual hide in the back that tunnels all the way back down underneath the leaves there. This guy is a very good eater, and it probably won't eat today because I'm saying it's a very good eater, but we'll see. Absolutely, it won't. It's not going to grab it because it would have already done it. Again, you can see the abdomen is not big. It's nice and slender, just about where you would expect them to be. About the width of the carapace is a good, nobody wants to eat today, is a pretty good size for what you want to see your Brachypelmas at. We'll zoom in just a little bit so you can see more of, you can see how the carapace is pretty much as wide as the abdomen is. We're not overweight or obese whatsoever. One of my favorite spiders. I've held this one many times. Just because it likes to crawl out generally. It's not doing it right now. I don't know why, actually, because usually when I open it up, this one wants to come out. That's a good thing he's not, because I don't want to wrangle spiders right now. So let's move on to the female Brachypelma hamorii. I'm not framing her very well, am I? So there she is. Now, I don't know if she'll eat or not, but we're going to give it a shot. I think she skipped the last meal that I gave her, but we'll see. Nope, she'll eat. Again, you can see the abdomen is not large. It's actually not even, well, about the same width as the carapace. This one's name is Constance. This was a gift to me from Ruth at Mostly Reptiles. It was actually a surprise that, you know, I met her up in Buffalo, traded a few things to her, and she gave this girl to me. Another one that's not a water freak. Generally, it'll put stuff into the water dish when I do put water in there. They do need to be watered. All of them need to be watered. But there she is, just one of my absolute favorite spiders. I just, you know, there's something about Brachypelma with me. I just love, because orange is my favorite color. So these, you know, these oranges and these reds, they go great with black. I mean, how can you, this is an idyllic Halloween tarantula right there. Black and orange. She molted probably 4 months ago. So she'll probably not molt again for another year, maybe even longer. She is mature and she is pairable. She's a good 5 inches. Maybe a tad more stretched out. She might hit that 6-inch mark, but you know, probably closer to 5.5 than 6. So that's the last of the Brachypelma hamorii. I'm going to get a top view of her real quick before we put her away. Now she's going to run because yeah, there she is. Great spiders to own. I highly recommend them. You know, if you can get them at a juvenile size, that's probably the best for new keepers because they do grow slow as slings, and that could discourage a lot of keepers. I've only had 2 slings ever die on me. We're going to see what that smithi does of Brachypelma, and that's an Albiceps and an emilia. Everything else has been great for me. Have had no problems. They are pretty forgiving of husbandry mistakes, and they're pretty easy to take care of. Dry enclosure. They don't hide a lot, and because in captivity they don't have those wide ranges of heat and cold, you know, like they do in Mexico, where the heat of the day they want to dig down deep to reach some of that cool humidity, you know, the cooler dirt down below, and they'll come up at night to eat. look for insects. They don't have that in captivity. So I know a lot of people say, oh, you got to give them tons and tons and tons of substrate. But if you give them enough and a way to hide, so if you look, she can hide there. She's about probably on 3 inches of substrate. People have asked me a lot of times, they want to know what I keep tarantulas, and we're going to do a video on that, different enclosure types, and how I set up different things. I base a lot on the spider's personality. If I have a Brachypelma that seems to dig more than not, then I will make sure that I add extra substrate. But most of mine, matter of fact, all of mine, have not really dug. They have no reason to. There's no predation. There's no extreme heat. There's no extreme cold. They're perfectly fine sitting there. The enclosure keeps them safe. They get fed and they get watered, so there's not really much they need to run away from. So Brachypelma hamorii female, and we're going to get the big Brachypelma boehmei female that was paired a week and a half ago. We're going to get her down next. I'm not quite sure what she's going to do here. We're going to try and get her out. Come on, sweetheart. Just come out just a little bit. I don't want to bug you too much. Okay, there she is. Absolutely gorgeous tarantulas. I'm using a new light, by the way. It's a ring light, a little bit bigger. I think this is about a 6-inch ring light. It's much bigger than what I used to use, but I also have my above my normal light on up here in my bedroom too. So we're not getting real great crisp shots as far as it's concerned. You know, I'm not sure if it's, you know, we moved the light over her a little bit more. It doesn't really change too much. It does give a little bit of shadowing here, but yeah, she was paired. I still have the male, so he's still hanging in there. He's kind of dropping off a little bit, but I perked him back up. We're going to see how he is. We'll probably pull him out next. I forgot about him. So we have actually 6 boehmeis here right now. A lot of people believe this is their favorite, you know, the favorite species of the genus or genus. I always say genus, but it is genus. This seemed to be the favorite overall, is the boehmei. They have great, beautiful long red legs, the nice white tip setae, perfect size. She's just a little bit bigger in the abdomen, and she actually looked like she got bigger since I paired her, but I can't believe that that's true. It's only been a week and a half or so since I paired her, but she hasn't eaten at all since then. So she wasn't completely sold on the idea. The male was very persistent, and I did have to help in that aspect. And so what I did is I used a wooden skewer or a maybe chopstick or shish kebab thing, whatever it is you want to call them. And I kind of placed that between her and him and her fangs to help, because I didn't want the male to get eaten. And they paired for quite a while. Actually, my arm was getting tired of trying to hold that thing in there. And she was pretty aggressive towards him as he backed away. So it was a good thing I did have that in there, so she didn't munch him. I didn't want her to munch him. We do need to try and pair him again, though, just to be sure. And if she shows aggression right off, of course, we'll keep them separated, and hopefully we can get him to somebody new before he passes. He went from roaming all over the place in 1 week to the next day, you know, like hardly able to move. So we, you know, I hydrated the crap out of his enclosure. He did do a lot of drinking, and he perked up. I haven't looked on him in the last couple days, so hopefully he's still doing okay. So we're going to pull out the rest of these guys. It's going to take me a minute. Well, you won't know that, but it's going to take me a minute to get them all pulled out because of where they're at. So yeah, Brachypelma boehmei, confirmed female. There she is with all her glory. She's not as big as the Brachypelma hamorii female, but lengthwise she's not as bulky as the hamorii female was. Here he is. As you can see, he's still not doing very well. Let me just put him back over the water. He's barely moving. I'm not sure he's drinking at all right now. We tried feeding him a couple times. As a matter of fact, there's 2 crickets in there that... Get out of there. So they're not bugging him. And he just doesn't seem to want to eat. We did get him to feed on a mealworm. Well, probably pretty quickly after he paired with the female. But like I said, he was crazy wandering around for a week. I mean, absolutely insane, night and day. I was home pretty much that whole time. In the evenings especially, you could hear him roaming around. He was tapping on the sides. And then he just kind of went downhill pretty quickly. So, yeah, Brachypelma boehmei, this is the mature male. Hopefully he'll drink water and pull through. I don't think he's going to be strong enough to put back in with the female. So we'll have to see what James wants to do with him. If he's not going to pull through, then, you know, the best thing to do for him would be to feed him off to another tarantula instead of just euthanizing him. At least we can utilize him. I know it sounds morbid, but if we put him back in with the female and she is gravid, then that would be good nutrients for the eggs. And that's a lot of times why the females eat the males, is for that nutrient. So we'll see what James wants to do. I'll have to have him watch this video and he can make that determination. As you can see, he doesn't really want to, he doesn't move hardly at all. Boy, I'm having a hard time framing. See, I'm back to the rookie part of my filming career. This is another Brachypelma boehmei. This one's a male. Maybe a molt, maybe two from maturing. We'll see if it wants a little mealworm here. I just fed it the other day. So yeah, this one's always been a good eater. Again, they're just absolute joys to have. They can be hair kicky, but I haven't really found that the boehmeis are any more hair kicky than other ones are. Other people definitely will say that out of the species of Brachypelma, this one definitely does kick more hairs than any other ones do. They're no more flighty, no more skittish, no more defensive. Matter of fact, I have not met a defensive Brachypelma yet. They will just kind of hunker down, try to not move, kick hairs. Seems to be their first line of defense. Running seems to be their second line of defense. But I don't mess with them enough to get them to that point where they do that. So, all right, so that's that one. That's a male. Like I said, this one's probably real close to being mature. Molt maybe two as far as size is concerned. And again, the abdomen, you'll be able to see the abdomen. Oh, I'm stuck here. Is relatively about the same width. Maybe this one's a little bit wider than the carapace. So right around that area. All right, let's get the next one. Here we go again. Framing, David, framing. It looks good before I hit the actual record button. Then it just kind of crops it out a little bit. This is another male. This one's a little bit smaller. See if this guy wants to eat. Oh, you want to grab that. Yeah, you want to grab the tongs. Here. Let's do it this way. Are you interested? Oop. Yeah, now you're not going to be interested because I messed with you too much. I don't generally tong feed. Yeah, he doesn't. No, he doesn't seem to be interested. Nope, I'm not going to force him. So yeah, this one again is another male. This one's actually a little thinner, as you can see. This one molted not too long ago. Maybe 2 months, I think. You could see how the carapace looks, and you can see, you know, he does look kind of thin, but he just doesn't want to, he doesn't, I don't know, maybe it's the worms. They have to try actually feeding him roaches and see if he's more into that than he is the other one. Overall length is close to the other size of the other male that I have. But I think he's a molt, maybe two younger. Absolutely gorgeous. And we have a female that's about the same size too. That I'm not sure if she's next or the baumgarteni. We'll end with the baumgarteni that was a baumgarteni, at least sold to me as a baumgarteni. I still think it's a boehmei, but let's get the, we had two males. I think we still have two females over there. Let me see. I don't remember. Let's save it for that crop a little bit better. This is the female Brachypelma boehmei. See if she might. Well, yeah, she'll eat. This one is on strictly topsoil. As you can see the dirt, you know, I let it dry out. I do spray down when she doesn't flip her lid, her water dish that she has flipped right now. I will wet down that one side. She does drink water. This one is, I've seen this one drink water on more than probably 4 or 5 occasions. Once I've, you know, sometimes she'll kill her prey and then come over and drink water and then go back to her prey. I think, I'm not 100% positive, I think the boehmei slash boehmei slash baumgarteni, that is going to be the last one. It's been a long time since I did videos. I don't remember how to talk, although I'm not sure I really talked all that well before. So yeah, one more I think to go, and then we'll be done. And I'll tell you what other videos we're going to do soon. This one went right into her or his coconut hide. We have not actually, yeah, we're going to kick hairs, confirm this one. Come on. There, we're going to put you like that so everybody can see. Oh yeah, you're going to do that now. There you go. Okay, so, oh, no, you don't need to run. Just relax. Another one. So, again, this is the one that was sold to me with the other one as a baumgarteni. I'm not sold on that. But, you know, there are other key factors. I don't know some of the other key factors of distinguishing baumgarteni from boehmei. So I'm just going to leave it labeled as baumgarteni now. And if I get an opportunity to get, I'm going to get a macro lens for our EOS, what was that, the Canon Rebel. I'm going to try and get a macro so I can get some better pictures of these guys and then send some of them off to people that will know a little bit better. Maybe I could send a couple pictures to Andrew Smith and see if he'd be able to tell them for sure. I mean, he's the one that described it, so I think he would be able to tell, or maybe Jorge Mendoza. I know there's a couple other people here that in the United States and a couple people in the UK that deal with these quite often, so they might be able to lend a little helping hand as well. But let's see. Do a mealworm for this one. Yep. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, this is one of my all-time favorite genera. I don't think you can beat these as far as eating. Their growth rate isn't extremely great, but once you get them to about 1.5 to 2 inches, they start growing a little bit quicker. They do take some time to mature. Males somewhere between 5 to 7 years, maybe even longer, and females could mature between 8 and 12 and live over 20. So you're in it for the long haul with these guys if you do invest in one of these and want to keep Brachypelma as one of your main genera in your hobby, in your collection. I think they're a cornerstone of just about everybody's collection. There are many people that can't keep them because of the hairs. The hairs do bother a lot of people. Fortunately for me, they do not have any effect on me at all. I have not one time, and I've been kicked a million times by some of these. Matter of fact, I got plastered by a Pampabedius the other day, and I felt a couple spots on my hand, on the inside of my finger that kind of felt like I had some fiberglass in there, and by the next day it was gone. But no itching, no irritation, no redness, none of that stuff. I'm going to play with this little thing just a little bit. I want to see what that's up as high as it can go. I think there's some variations. Yeah, this one's got different types of light. There's 3 different types of, that's more of a white light. I think that's actually a little bit better. Maybe I'll leave it on that one. I do kind of like the look of that one. This is what I had it on, so it has that orangish yellowish haze to it. So we go back to that one. I think this one's the one to go with. Yeah, so other videos that we're going to do, again, I'm going to try and do the Hapalopus species Columbia large. It's just going to be a quick video with it. We're going to put it into a new home and explain to you how quickly they can mature. So look forward for that. I don't know if I'll get it done tomorrow. I'd like to try and get it done tomorrow, but I don't know if I will. And then we're going to do a big video for me, and it's going to be setup videos on all my African baboon species, from the HMAC all the way to the brand new little guys that I got in, the Tyrannochilus murinus, from the Zimbabwe, Botswana locale and Kenya locale, my Makumis, my Harpacteras, I'm not sure what, oh, my Ceratogyris, of course, or Ceratogyris species. I have a lot of baboons, a lot of them. I have right now 5 Harpactera pulchripes, one that is paired. We're going to put the male back in with her tomorrow and see what she does. And I have another younger female that complements her. And then I have 3 slings. I would absolutely love for her to drop a sack in a few months. I would be absolutely ecstatic. Of course, my M. balfouri, even though I really don't technically think that they're baboons because they're not continental Africa. My tetes and kigomas, all of them. I'm going to show you how I set them up and the different types of enclosures I use. And then I also want to do a video on just enclosure choice. So, different kinds of acrylic enclosures. I have stuff from the new Zillas, the rubber band ones. I have one of those that I have not put anybody in yet. I'm not quite sure who I want to put in there. Of course, the Hobby Lobby, the basketball enclosures, the football enclosures, the mini helmet enclosures, all those different things. And Sterilite containers, different types of Sterilite containers, what I like to use, why I like to use them. And then we'll do a video later on. I already did a substrate video, but people want another one done. So, I could show people what I use. That probably won't come till February of next year. But I'm going to try and get at least the African species video out before the end of the year. And I do have another enclosure coming from Dreamco Plastics, but I already have 2 of them like that, so it's not like I need to wait for it to come in. There's a couple new companies that have come out doing enclosures, like Primal Cages. I think there's another one, Tarantula Cribs or something like that as well. I might look at getting something from Primal Cages to also review. I just don't know how quick to get it, that'll get here, and that's my big problem. So yeah, we'll see how things go. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was long. I know it was long because I'm hungry, and I was hungry when I started, and I'm really, really hungry now. So I'm going to go eat, and then we'll put all these clips together and upload it. Hopefully it won't take 6 hours to upload. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Compliment. You don't have to compliment me. Comment down below what your favorite Brachypelma species is and why. We'll see how many we get for the different species of Brachypelma. Of course, I don't have an Elbiceps. I got a little one in a couple weeks ago. It only lasted a couple days, and it didn't make it. So the one that I had was a male, which I sent away, and the pairings just didn't seem to work out so well. So I am going to be looking for a juvenile female is what I'd really like to get. And maybe a bigger size juvenile and then a smaller juvenile male to go with everything else that I have. So yeah, tell me what you think. You think this is a boehmei or you think this is a baumgarteni? There is a little bit difference between this one and the boehmeis, but there's a little bit more difference between this one and the other baumgarteni that I have. It's got a much darker carapace. So I hope the little Emilia that molted last night does okay with her leg that she lost during her molt. And we'll see everybody in the next video. I hope you guys are all staying safe from this lousy garbage virus that we have going on. Fortunately for me and my family, we've avoided it so far. It's not something that I think that would be very beneficial for me with my immune issues, and definitely not for my wife. So yeah, anyway, stay safe. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving for those who celebrate. If you don't like calling it Thanksgiving, a happy family day where everybody got together if you could and had a meal, even if you had to do it over Zoom. I I don't do Zoom. I don't have a reason to. Everybody's in my house. All three of my kids. Well, I mean, my older son is in his own home. But yeah, so I'm rambling now, which I usually do at the end of the video. So I'm just going to cut it off right here. Have a great holiday season coming up, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful December.